Hi there, thanks for watching. So we have realized that you have been working on your conditioning, your stamina and your cardio quite hard. Good for you. But have you thought about your mobility, your strengthening and your balance? We have decided to show you a few different tests or exercises for you to check which level you're at. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be checking how your muscles work, what is the mobility of them, especially in the areas of the hips and the upper legs. So let's get to it. Okay, so these were the 4 possibilities for this test. The first one was how it is the optimal way of doing it, and it shows how healthy your joints are and how big is the mobility in your hips. If you have to touch an arm on the ground in order to sit down and an arm on the ground in order to get up, then you're losing 1 point. If you have to touch your arm and your knee or your thigh, then you're losing 2 points. If you have to touch 2 arms on the ground plus your knee and your thigh, then you're losing 3 points. If you don't have to touch anything and you still can get up, but it feels quite hard, we can work on it. Great work! So now we're going to go to the second exercise or test, and we're going to check again the mobility of the hip plus the strength of your hamstrings and the relaxation that your quads can get to. So we're going to get on the floor and we're going to check there again 3 ways: the low, the average and the excellent. So let's see where you can score. Okay, so there's 3 stages for this. First one would be the optimal one, which shows how flexible will your hip be and how strong your hamstrings are. So you get to this position, you extend your leg, and first thing is if you can stand in the middle of your hips. If you cannot, it's already a sign that your hips need a bit more strengthening. Then you use your hands to support you and you try and lift your leg, your back leg, extended leg, up. So if you need to move your body to the front to lift it, you already know that your hips are not quite strong. If you only use just a bit of power to lift it, they're quite okay. If you need to bend your knee in order to lift your leg, then you're losing a point. And if you need to go to the front and bend your knee to lift your leg, you're losing 2 points. So this is also showing you the ability of both your quads, how strong and how relaxed they can be, and your hamstrings, how mobile and how conditioned they can also be. This is test number 2. So now we'll go to the third test or exercise, and we're gonna check not only our hip mobility and strength, but also our knee mobility and strength, and more specifically our tendons and our ligaments ability to get to a full range of motion and what that permits us to do. So first we're going to be checking the knee angle. So you're going to be standing in all 4 points, and what you want to do is to take one leg out. So you're going to slowly rotate your foot and you should see where is ending. So the full rotation. So if you can get your foot, if it's painful to even lift your foot and move it, you already know that there is already an issue with the hip joint. If you can move up to about 15 degrees, then you know that you need to work on your mobility a bit more. If your hip allows you to turn it even further, you're already in a very good condition with your hip. You can check this for both of your legs. It doesn't mean that your hip is strong if you can do that. It just means that your ligaments and your tendons give the elasticity for you to get to this range of motion. And now we're going to go to our 4th test or exercise, where we're going to lie in our backs, and we're going to choose one knee, any knee, hold it and extend our leg, and we're going to check there again about 3 stages for this. If only standing in this position is uncomfortable for you, or you already feel that you're lifting your leg up because it's impossible to hold this leg, this knee otherwise, then you know that your hip mobility is quite limited, and also the strengthening of your hip joint is not that much. If you pull your leg a bit closer, or if you permit yourself to do that and you're still lifting your leg and your hip is also turning in, you know that there's not a lot of flexibility in this area. If it's easy for you to both pull your knee towards your chest and allow your leg to rest on the ground, then you know that your mobility and flexibility on that area is quite well. So you can do that and check both legs. It doesn't mean that you're not strong or not flexible. It just gives you a few details about how your body is being used and being trained so far, and what you can do if you train it in different ways and add more to your training as complementary. That's it for today. Thank you for watching us, and hopefully you'll get more of those little tiny snippets soon.